No problem. No problem.
Gratitude. We dwell in the shadow realms of the creative imagination, the land between worlds, where music and song and poetry, where all the arts are the radiant heart and soul, all the arts are the pounding blood, the pleading bone of Mother Earth in all her terrible beauty. Without all the arts, life would be a factory assembly line. Without all the arts, life would be a concentration camp. Without art, life would be ruled by power-monger despots. Their only wish is for us to be slaves, to satisfy their every evil desire. All our lives, we have fought for the right to dwell in the shadow realms of the creative imagination, the land between worlds, where all the arts are the radiant heart and soul, where all the arts are the pounding blood, the pleading bone of nature in all her fiercely beautiful manifestations. Without all the arts, we are empty tombs, we are whited sepulchres, we are living dead. With all the arts, we dwell in harmony with nature. With all the arts, we are pale pink blossoms, singing softly in the late summer, early September breeze. With humble honor and deep gratitude, I join forces with each and every one of you as we, a world community of poets, gather here in Connecticut, USA, on this bright and sunny September 4th day to pay tribute to those who have come before us, and by going our own way, birthing a new generation of free thinkers, of freedom fighters, of creative beings, of outlaw beat poets. We are here to celebrate a global literary renaissance, a new birth of wonder. I am deeply honored and forever grateful to be named U.S. National Beat Poet Laureate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the beat, to the outsiders. America, I pledge allegiance to those who were here before you, to those who will be here after you are gone. America, I pledge allegiance to the beat, to the outsiders, to the outlaw poets and writers, to the downtrodden. Oh, America, I pledge allegiance to the woman I love. I pledge allegiance to my children, my grandchildren, my godchildren, and all my children to come. I pledge allegiance to my friends and allies, my guides and angels, both seen and unseen. Oh, my America, I pledge allegiance to trees, to green grass, to brown earth, to wildflowers of every color, to wilderness, to turquoise skies, to rivers, lakes, and seas, to healing the earth. Oh, my sweet America, I pledge allegiance to the creative forces of the universe, to the word and to silence. I pledge allegiance to dreams, to birth, to the journey, and to death. I pledge allegiance to candor, to sincerity, to laughter, to irony. I pledge allegiance to passion and compassion, to empathy, and to helping those in need. I pledge allegiance to resurrection of the heart. Oh, my America, I pledge allegiance to resurrection of the heart. One last one for you. Shooting up poetry in New Orleans. Near the levee, a maroon Datsun sedan driven by Neil Cassidy pulls up to a dilapidated old house with tall grass and weeping willows in the yard. It's 509 Wagner Street, Algiers, the home of William S. Burroughs. Neil, Jack Kerouac, Al Hinkle, and Lou Ann Henderson arrive from the road to spend a few days with Burroughs. Burroughs rarely goes out except to make his connection. He invites Kerouac to try his orgone accumulator. Burroughs says, "Sit inside and you'll absorb life principle atoms right out of the atmosphere." He attempts to convince Kerouac into abandoning his road trip with Cassidy. Years later, I'm in New Orleans, standing outside the Howlin' Wolf Club. I'm here to produce yet another Beat Generation spirited 48-hour non-stop music and poetry insomniacathon, and I've been burning up the road day and night with no end in sight. I'm feeling burnt out, tired to the bone, so I'm searching for a fix of poetry to shoot into my blood, to rejuvenate my spirit. I'm calling on Bill Burroughs and Jack Kerouac and Neil Cassidy, but I haven't found my orgone accumulator, my new poetry yet. And my head is hanging so low it's dragging the ground. I've known nothing but failure lately, and I've been burning the candle at both ends so long there's nothing left of me but smoke and ashes. So I'm wondering if the time has finally arrived for me to become cinder for that long-distance, never-ending railroad track to nowhere. My spirit screams out for help, and in a flash, I hear Allen Ginsberg whisper, "Take a hand, share the word." And out of the blue, the poetry gospel starts flowing through my groin and my gut and my heart and my head, and my oh my, I jump and shout and sing. Yes, right in front of the Howlin' Wolf Club, I'm grabbed hold of by the poetry spirit, and now someone's singing and banging on a piano. So I open the door and peek in, and lo and behold, there's Dr. John and David Amram doing double note crossovers and over and unders. They're doing their ooh la mala, Su Su Ya Ya. They're playing and speaking in tongues right here in the middle of the holy New Orleans afternoon, and out of the blue I find the poetry I've been looking for. I look up and there's the full moon smiling at me from over the Mississippi River, and I think of Algiers and Bill Burroughs and Jack Kerouac and Neil Cassidy, and I think of Neil's flame gone, 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 and his naked body lying there beside those long-distance, never-ending railroad tracks to nowhere. And I hope all the poets and musicians performing at this 48-hour non-stop music and poetry insomniacathon, hell, I hope all of us keep the funk, keep that flame alive. Don't let the system break you. Don't let life break you. And I hear Dr. John and David Amram playing their pianos and singing their boogie-woogie end of the world blues. And in that moment, I know my reward is in the experience of poetry. And right here, right now, I'm in New Orleans with all these poets and musicians who somehow know the magical power of poetry. The word sets us free. And I think about Allen Ginsberg and what he said about taking somebody's hand, because we're all in this together. We're pulling. We ain't pushing. We're letting it be. We realize that when one of us is lifted up, we're all lifted up. And I realize that poetry is life, and life is poetry. And I feel an energy rising through me, growing strong, coming from poets and musicians of all ages. And I don't feel like failure anymore. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel reborn into poetry, into life. And it feels like resurrection, rebirth into poetry right here, right now, shooting up poetry in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
You all.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, David Amram. Thank you, Debbie Tosin Kilday. Thank you.
Oh yeah.